When you think of the women of World War I, most think of the wives and mothers of the young men killed in the fighting. But there were women who served overseas, some from right here in our province, braving the horrors of the Great War, all to help in the fight. Veronica Cooper has more.
Playing a vital role, more than 2,500 Canadian nurses served in World War I.
Most people would assume that they served in hospitals in Britain, but many of them were right behind the front line. Many of them were killed in bombings and artillery strikes. In some cases, they had their lungs damaged by poison gas.
Among the collections at the Royal BC Museum is this one, memorabilia donated by Canadian nurses, some from right here in BC.
In some cases, they didn't come to the archives till about 1963, towards the ends of the life of some of the nurses who survived those events.
This helmet is an important piece of the collection.
The nurses weren't issued with helmets, so Eleanor Parker, who was dealing with issues at the front, was given a helmet from the Republic of France. That's what the RF stands for.
This is an artillery shell repurposed into trench art.
This one was made into a trophy for the Sisters' Foot Race. One of the breaks in the bombing and the treatment of the wounded was a day of celebration. And so this was given out to the winner.
Other treasured pieces?
A beautiful photo album from Myrnie Pugh and Eleanor Parker. They met in a field hospital in France and stayed together until the end of their lives. Myrnie donated the uniforms the two women wore together in the Great War. And when her friend and lifelong partner was injured by poison gas treating soldiers, she stayed with her until her death in 1963. And Eleanor, bedridden, would dictate novels, which we have in the Provincial Archives collection, and Myrnie would faithfully transcribe that.
Just one of the remarkable collections preserved at the Royal BC Museum and Archives, guardians for the history of our province.
This Week in History, brought to you by the Royal BC Museum, bringing British Columbia's stories together.